Welcome back. You guys had your treats? Well done. So this morning we're going to be venturing to the next of the yamas, niyamas. So we've done the full set of 10 yamas and we're on the third of the niyamas, and this is called tapas, the niyama. Tapas, as I spoke about yesterday, means discipline in one of its translations. It can also be translated as austerity, which means a kind of simplicity or living a more austere life. So we don't acquire a whole bunch of stuff like aparigraha and asteya. And we just have a simplicity about what we're engaging with or ingesting, a simplicity about what we own and so on. So discipline or austerity. And another translation for the word tapas is heat, the heat. The heat that comes from that kind of discipline or austerity, the mental heat even. But we are also referring to the physical heat that causes cleansing, or the heat mentally, emotionally, spiritually that can bring on a kind of cleansing or a tipping point where we go from an old perspective to a new and more updated, mature perspective. And that heat, yesterday I described it like this: the old perspective, the new perspective. So where we've been, where we're going, and those two things rubbing against each other sometimes, causing this friction between the way we have been, the way that we want to be, where we want to grow, where we've been stuck. So all these things can kind of summarize the first blush of understanding tapas. So let's sit for a bit together in quiet, and then we will explore in the physical body, what is this tapas? So you can rest your hands in your lap. Let your eyes close. By arriving for your practice, you're already expressing this tapas, this dedication or commitment, which has a quality of daily discipline. By being here, you have said yes to your practice. You're also saying no to your pillow or to a phone call, or no to your computer or to a news program. One way that we could define tapas is when we're able to say no to that which is no longer helpful, and to say yes to that which is more helpful, more nutritive. So we sum that up as a phrase called saying no to say yes. You can also put that in the inverse, saying yes, therefore also saying no to intrusions, distractions, dissipations, and so on. So to give your thinking mind a tether, a place to be in the tapas, begin to listen to sound on purpose, whatever the sound is in your environment. Remind yourself that sounds are going to be happening in the freshness of the present. And thought is often about the past or the future. When you're listening to sound, listen to it without naming it or narrating it. You don't have to tell a story about it. Recognize the sound beyond the nearby sounds. There are going to be distant sounds. The internal sounds, there are also external sounds. And even beyond those, there is a kind of space or silence through which the sound is rising and passing. You raise your hands to your heart in Anjali Mudra. Bring your palms together as a way to also further focus your mind or to feel this dedication. So while tapas can refer to things like how we set our daily schedule or how we show up for our yoga practice, the discipline of what we eat, what we don't eat, tapas is really directed at the mind. Practicing anything like our daily schedule, what we eat, what we don't eat, coming to yoga practice, all those are opportunities for us to observe the mind trying to practice tapas. They are places where we experience a kind of tangible tapas. We also have this internal mental tapas, and we keep the mind in the present. So we'll chant Asatoma Satgamaya. Om Asatoma Satgamaya. Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya. Mrityorma Amritam Gamaya. Om Asatoma Satgamaya. Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya. Mrityorma Amritam Gamaya. Om Asatoma Satgamaya. Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya. Mrityorma Amritam Gamaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om. Shri Guru Pyo Namaha. Hari Om. You may bow your head to your heart. Release your hands. Place your hands out over your knees so your arms are more taut, especially if you have a longer torso and shorter limbs, then your arms are extra taut, like in my case. And then inhale, raise up through your chest and your heart. Open your throat. Press the knees down to stretch your arms and shoulders. Raise your heart up. And then exhale, level your head. Cross your left hand to your right thigh. Take the right hand behind you. Twist to your right, look over your right shoulder. Breathe in again, and as you press down with your right thigh, lift up with your heart. So the left arm is again taut. And then exhale, come to center, cross your right hand over your left knee, and to the best of your ability, reach where the arm is more taut, and you have to come up through the heart against a little bit of that pressure. Then exhale, come back to center. Reach back and interlace your fingers, squeeze the shoulders back, take the arms back, and bring your chin down towards your throat. Now, according to the arm position, we don't have the same taut experience for the spine, but can you lift up with the heart and the collarbones, creating a little space in there, even as you bring your chin down towards your throat? And then place your knuckles either on a block behind you or on the floor. Raise up through your heart, open your throat. And then exhale and release your hands back to your lap. We interlace the fingers. Inhale, raise your arms up overhead. And then place the palms facing towards you. Exhale, bring the left elbow down and the right elbow up behind. And as you press your head back into your arms, make a little back bend in your thoracic spine. And then inhale, take both hands up. And exhale, palms face down. Bring your right elbow down, left elbow up. And as you press your head gently back into your arm, feel into the thoracic spine, making a little bit of a back bend. And then inhale, raise up. And exhale, side bend to your left. Exhale, rise to center using the right low belly. Inhale, gaze up. And exhale, side bend to your right. And exhale, use the left low belly to come upright. Inhale, push out. And exhale, return your hands to your lap. And just sit really still and notice now your relationship to the word tapas. What is this loving discipline of practice? And how is it now to say no to something else and to say yes to being here? Great, now Bastrika. Exhale. Inhale to suspension. Now and release. Last week, a little bit more rapid and a little bit more duration. Now, and then release the inhale suspension when you're ready to. Kapalabhati, so bring the first two fingers in and close just the right nostril. We're going to do 30 on the left, 30 on the right. We'll be going back and forth like we've been doing. It's 30, 30, 20, 20, 10, 10, 9, 9, 8, 8, 7, 7, like that. But switch. 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 Now back and forth, moving down to 1, 1, 1, 1. Exhale completely. Then inhale to suspension. So slowly and completely. Please rise up to standing. These are called cleansing practices. Sometimes we call them kriyas when you're doing a cleansing practice. The word kriya is also used to describe the three-legged stool of yoga. Kriya yoga is tapas, svadhyaya, and ishvadi pranidhana. So these kriyas are a part of cleansing, and cleansing is a part of tapas. For one of the translations of the word tapas is purification, or cleansing, purifying the body and the mind so that we don't have rubbish when we come to our yoga mat. So take a stance, we call this horse stance. We're going to be going back and forth. So this is the push like this. This is called saying no to say yes. So these are the no's that we're going to be saying so that we can say yes to our practice and to our transformation. This is a strong exhale out through the mouth. Five, four, three, two, one. Inhale. You make the feet parallel. Exhale, come down like a rag doll, forward bend. You place your hands on your knees, rise up to standing, and go out to your jazz dance warm-up pose. Press the knees apart, please. And bring your gaze down on the floor so that what happens is your head is basically in line with your spine. And we want to sense now the breath, a smooth ujjayi breath, coming in through both nostrils, going out through both nostrils. But could you sense the inhale to begin at the pelvic floor and to move upwards and also to widen? So from the pelvis to the side waist, to the back waist, to the heart, into the upper chest, and even into the lymph region in the armpits. Now holding that steady in the horse stance, now jazz dance warm-up pose, take the tailbone down and rise up to stand. So you can check and see if this is going to be suitable for you, right? You might need a little bit shorter stance for some, or maybe this is doable. If the knees feel like they're tipping in, make your stride shorter or turn the toes in so that you feel like you can sit in the pelvis. So there's going to be some heat in the legs. Okay, let's begin. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come to center. Inhale. Make the feet parallel and exhale, come down to Prasarita Padottanasana. Energize your legs, but relax the torso and allow the stillness of the breath. You might find that there is a quality of stillness, even though, of course, the breath is moving lightly as well. Please reach back to interlace your fingers at the small of your back. Roll the shoulders open as we did previously. And then inhale, glide your heart forward, rise up to standing. Let's go heel toe in. Come to mountain pose. And just try to get a sense of how are things feeling. When you find mountain pose, what is happening in the quality of your mind? And please step to the front of your yoga mat. Bring your hands together at your heart. In the spirit of tapas, which is this sort of loving discipline, this purposeful, skillful discipline or care of your practice, it's not punishment, it's a caring for, a containing of your practice. Bring the Ujjayi breath in, make the back of the throat more hollow, lift the upper palate, and the base of the tongue goes down slightly back there. And then as you listen to the very subtle form of the Ujjayi, let your mind be drawn into that sound. So saying yes to that sound is also saying no to the inner commentator or the inner critic. When you next inhale, sweep your hands down, palms up, raise your arms up. And exhale, fold forward to Uttanasana. Inhale, glide forward. Exhale, left toes back. Pivot the left heel slightly down and in. Inhale, virabhadrasana 1, warrior 1. Like to gaze up if possible, put one thumb behind the other thumb. So the arms rise up like an arrowhead. Keep the back heel grounded. Reach all the way to the left inner heel, the back of the heel, the outer heel. Listen to the sound that your Ujjayi breath is making right now. And if the position of your head is making that Ujjayi breath really thin or choppy or less than smooth, then orient your head position until you really sense that the smoothness is there. And keeping that smooth, now sweep the arms wide, come slowly forward. And inhale to plank pose. Exhale to seal pose. Inhale, lift up and notice the Ujjayi sound. Exhale, cobra pose. Gaze a little forward on the floor. Inhale, rise up to seal. Exhale, plank pose. Notice your head position and how that influences the Ujjayi breath. And inhale, reach back, downward facing dog. And exhale, left foot forward, pivot the right heel slightly in and down. And inhale, rise up. Warrior one. Hook the other thumb behind. Press into your right heel firmly. And notice the sound of the breath. What is needed for you, for your head posture to support the throat? And exhale, take the arms wide, come down slowly. And inhale, step forward, heart forward. Exhale, deep bow towards the legs, noticing the shape of the throat influences the sound of the breath. Inhale, rise up, upward hands pose. Exhale, hands to the heart. Continuing. Then as you bring the heart forward, listen as you step back. Inhale, warrior one. Exhale, descend. Inhale, plank, keeping care of your throat position. Exhale to seal. Inhale, lift up, gaze up. Exhale, cobra, bhujangasana. Inhale, rise up, seal pose. Exhale, plank. Inhale, downward dog. Left foot forward. Again, keeping care of the position of the throat. Virabhadrasana 1. And then exhale, descend. Inhale, step forward, heart forward. And exhale, deeply bow toward your legs. Inhale, rise up. And exhale, hands to the heart. And notice how it is to keep care of the shape of the throat, the sound of the Ujjayi. For the sequence. So inhale, hands down, raise up. And exhale, Uttanasana. Great. Inhale, glide forward. And take the left toe straight back, Virabhadrasana 1. Keeping care of the throat position. Inhale to rise. Exhale, with the hands like an arrow, reach forward over your right leg. Inhale, raise up. Exhale, glide forward. Keep the legs really stable. And the breath sounds stable as well. Rise up again, please. And then exhale, sweep the arms wide. Come down, and as you touch the two blocks, prepare for plank pose. Inhale, step back. And then exhale to seal pose. And inhale, lift up and look up. Exhale, cobra. Inhale, raise up. Downward facing dog. And exhale, left foot forward. Pivot the right heel down. Inhale, rise. Hook the thumbs. And exhale, bow forward so the torso and the arms are like an arrow together. Inhale, raise up, keeping your legs stable. Exhale, bow forward, a little bit like a water bird. Once more. And then exhale. Okay, inhale to plank pose. Exhale to seal pose. And this time inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, plank. Inhale, downward facing dog. Okay, exhale, right foot forward. Pivot the left heel. Rise up for warrior two. Turn the right hand skyward. Inhale, raise the right arm high and arc back and down with your left arm. Then check again the shape of the throat. Where do you place your head, your gaze, your throat, so the Ujjayi breath is consistent? And exhale, windmill the arms over. Touch the two blocks. Inhale to plank pose. Exhale to seal pose. And then inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, plank. Inhale, downward facing dog. Exhale, left foot forward. Pivot the right heel and rise up, warrior two. Turn the left hand skyward. Inhale, raise up. Listen to the sound in the throat. And then exhale, windmill the arms over. Inhale to plank pose. Exhale, upward facing dog pose. Stay through for the inhale. Exhale, plank. Inhale, downward dog pose. And then exhale, one foot forward, second foot forward, Uttanasana. Inhale, rise up, upward hands pose. And exhale, hands to the heart. And then in mountain pose, relax the breath, in fact, relax the throat, and listen to just what is happening when you stand really still. Notice you as the listener. You were listening to the breath. Now listening to the silence, the absence of the Ujjayi sound. Perhaps observing the sounds in the environment. You are the listener rather than the orchestra conductor. In other words, we're not making all those sounds. To be present to that sound is to be present here rather than lost in the mind, wandering past and future to and fro. Okay, let's step into downward dog pose, please. And we're going to pick up a pose from last week or the week before. And I'm sorry that I don't often remember one day to the next. Sometimes it's all a beautiful matrix. Bring your right leg forward for what we can call pigeon pose. So bring the outer shin down to the floor. Go ahead and stay up on your blocks, raise up through the chest and the heart. Strengthen and lengthen your back leg as well. And then start sliding the left leg backwards. And you may come down. Go ahead and point the toes of the left foot behind you if you like, and come down to your forearms on your blocks. Now in this position, listen again to the Ujjayi sound. So you can create that sound as a way to both support your body to stay in the zone of yoga. It has a really important internal development, pelvic floor and so on. But also the sound of the breath is good biofeedback for you. If you're going too deeply in a yoga pose or you're getting distracted, the sound of the breath will give you the reflection back. Press the right outer shin firmly down against the floor, even though it's touching already. Press firmly down. Place your hands on your blocks and walk the blocks back to either side of your front thigh and your front foot. Raise the chest and the heart up. A little bit like adding cobra pose to your pigeon pose. Listen to the breath sounds. You're going to know how much to open the chest and the heart and what to do with the throat. So we aren't moving the neck more than the thoracic spine can support. And exhale, level your head. Press into both arms to straighten them. And let's step to plank pose, even though the hands are quite wide. Touch the knees down. Place your hands again like you would like them for downward dog pose. Raise up. Okay, now the left foot forward. Put it on the outside edge of the foot and come down. Initially, place your left shin and just keep the right leg strong and stable so that behind you, your right hip, right leg, right heel are energized. And then start sliding the right leg back. And you may come down to your forearms on your blocks. As you come down, keep the back leg toned a little bit, doesn't need to be stressed or tense, and press your left shin firmly down against the floor. Keep the inner belly toned, but allow for the in-breath to touch low in the abdomen. So toned is not the same as tense. And then place your hands and walk them back to either side of your front foot and your front knee. Press down in the arms and hands. Roll the shoulders back a little bit like cobra pose. You might even have the elbows slightly bent. Lift up and listen for where your head and throat position are going to support that Ujjayi sound to stay consistent. Exhale, level your gaze, strengthen your arms, tuck the right toes under, slide the left foot back to plank, even though the hands are wide, like a wide hand plank pose. Touch the knees down. Sit to virabhadrasana for a moment and relax the body and see what the echo is from that. Now let's bring a chair onto the yoga mat. And I don't know everybody's chair. I don't know all the chairs that you have there, or not which ones you're using. So please adapt when you see what we're doing. So with this chair, I'm going to recommend that some of you put padding on the seat of the chair, and some of you might want padding on the upper back of the chair, something like that. And then take a seat on the front edge of your chair facing what would be the front of your yoga mat. Reach back to clasp your hands. Roll the shoulders back. Place the arms up over the upper back of the chair. Now, a couple weeks ago in the yoga therapy clinic, we talked about some chairs have taller upper backs, like not this one, but other chairs, like a dining room table chair. The upper back of the chair might be taller, and then you have to sit up on something more under your hips to make this work. As you clasp the hands back there, raise your heart, open your throat. Now, keeping your right foot firmly planted on the floor, and this is where you're going to have to be kind of adapting to what the height of your chair is. Take the left leg and bring it down. You're coming into a pose like Anjaneyasana. Don't fall off your chair, please. It's more like proposal pose, we could say. It's not really Anjaneyasana. Bring the left knee back up. Place the left foot forward, take the right toes under and bring it down. Please don't fall off your chair forward. And raise that one back up. All right, let's release the hands. Let them dangle down alongside the torso. There's going to be some circulation that goes down. Relax all sense of breathing and see if you can just notice what it is to be the listener again. Cross your right ankle over your left knee, kind of like a seated version of the pigeon pose. Raise up through the left arm. And exhale, twist across. Place your left hand on your right knee, wherever it's comfortable. Walk the right hand across. I'm going to hold the other bar of the chair back there. For those for whom it works based on your body proportions, it's nice to actually take the back of the hand here around the outside of the thigh. And then lift up so it feels like the arms are a little bit taut and you have to kind of barber pull your way up into a twist. Listen again to the ujjayi sound in the throat. How far do you turn your head? What is the optimal angle for your head? Exhale, come around to face forward. Let's place the right foot flat on the floor. Cross your left ankle over your right thigh. Raise up through the heart. Raise your right arm. And then cross over. For those who'd like, you can put the back of your hand around the outside of the left thigh. Exhale and come around to face forward. Okay, now we have an exciting opportunity. So you have your chair, you have your blankets, you have your blocks. You may or may not need your blocks. I'll put them here so I might demonstrate if you need them. I actually think that 2 chairs is better than a chair and 2 blocks for this. So just to say that.
So,
All right, so we have 2 blankets folded like this. Place them down. Stack them so that they are professionally placed on your mat like a yoga professional. That's for your shoulders. And then step around your chair. Go ahead and watch for a moment. Watch out for pulling your hair when you come down. All right, so you come into your position. This is familiar to most of you. One reason that this is comfortable for me is that the height of these 2 blankets for my shoulders means that where my sacrum lands on this chair is comfortable. So this is called the Candlestick Pose. And then we have this option to cross the ankle, and you bring this down. And then we place that back, pick the leg up, cross the other ankle. And back up, candlestick pose. And for some people, then they can easily also glide down to plow pose. Now, for me, that's going to the floor, but for other people, that's what the blocks are for. It's based on your hamstring flexibility and also the setup of your pose. And then this can become shoulder stand. And it can also become this sort of figure 4 position again, where you enter it from shoulder stand rather than from candlestick pose. So the thing about this exploration is it's going to require your personal tapas, the sense of you're caring for your practice. It's not tapas like, can I push through and do extraordinary things because somehow there's an award. It's tapas like caring for the ujjayi sound, caring for the mental state, caring for the physical body so you can experience yoga. So let's come down to candlestick pose together. And a couple really important things as reminders. The shoulders have to be well established on the blankets. Press the upper arms down against the blankets. As you hold on to the chair, keep the elbows bent so you really have the strength of the upper arm as a foundation. Candlestick all by itself is a very therapeutic pose because of the inverted quality and the cleansing, also nourishing the pineal and the pituitary and thyroid glands. If you would like to play from here, you're going to cross your right ankle over the left thigh, and then you bend the left knee, and that brings your legs down towards your head. And then you would be placing the sacrum and the hips back on the edge of the chair, and we go up. Raise the right leg, cross the left ankle over. And you'll bend the right knee to come down. And then place your hips back on the chair. And since most of you will just do candlestick pose, I'll go there with you. And anybody who'd like to can also explore the plow pose or the shoulder stand pose.
Remind yourself that the candlestick is a very therapeutic pose on its own. The organs are inverted, circulation, lymph, the master glands of the body. There's a lot of goodness already happening here. So if going to plow pose is not in your capacity, then it's wise to practice where you can practice. And place yourself so you can transition down from your chair. We come down to the waterfall pose where the hips are still on the chair seat. And you can support the knees by tipping the chair slightly backwards like that. Take the arms out in a T shape. This is a great time to cover up with a blanket if that's something that you feel nourished by, or you can even put your eye pillow on if you prefer. Relax entirely any sense of doing ujjayi breathing and return to the listener to be just the simple witness of sound and silence. Simply listen, not to comment, not to wander. Taking in the sound like you're basking and listening to silence and sound. And again to the inner body, the sounds around you, and let all of that be a reminder of the silence beneath and beyond sound. your mind to rest so your body also deeply relaxes. Allow the mind and the body to deeply relax. Listen, life is happening in the present, within and around you. No need to comment, no need to strain. And lightly roll your head side to side. Gently wiggle your fingers, your toes. Let's bring the knees to the front of the chair, feet on the front of the chair, excuse me. And roll to your side. And up to sitting. To the seat. As you take your seat, rest your hands once again in your lap. Close your eyes. Listen into the echo. What is still vibrating in your body from your practice? Bring the right hand up for Nadi Shodhana, please. Begin with closing the right nostril and inhale left side to start. Close the left, exhale right. Inhale right. Now left, and follow this at your pace, switching the nostril after the inhalation.
with your next exhale left. Raise your hands to your heart. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Thank you very much. Namaste. And a reminder for anyone having a question about either Ujjayi breathing, Nadi Shodhana, or the pranayama techniques, there is a yoga therapy clinic this afternoon at 4 p.m. With me and the graduates from our 500 and our 800-hour training schools. So don't forget.